Little darling, the smiles returning to their faces. Little darling, it seems like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun, and I say it's all right. Sun, 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 here it comes. Sun, 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 here it comes. One more of those. Sun, 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 here it comes. And now to verse 3. Little darling, I feel that ice is slowly melting. Little darling, it seems like years since it's been clear. Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun, and I say it's all right. Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun. It's all right. It's all right. Yay! Okay, next is With a Little Help from My Friends. That's you. And you might have to really focus. Those words look kind of small. What would you do if I sang out of tune? Would you turn up and walk out on me? Lend me your ears and I'll sing you a song, and I'll try not to sing out of key. Oh, I get by with a little help from my friends. I get high with a little help from my friends. I'm gonna try with a little help from my friends. What do I do when my love is away? Does it worry you to be alone? How do I feel by the end of the day? Are you sad because you're on your own? No, I get by with a little help from my friends. I get high with a little help from my friends. I'm gonna try with a little help from my friends. Do you need anybody? I need somebody to love. Could it be anybody? I want somebody to love. Would you believe in a love at first sight? Yes, I'm certain that it happens all the time. What do you see when you turn out the light? I can't tell you, but I know that it's mine. Oh, I get by with a little help from my friends. Oh, I get high with a little help from my friends. Oh, I'm gonna try with a little help from my friends. Do you need anybody? I just need someone to love. Could it be anybody? I want somebody to love. Oh, I get by with a little help from my friends. I'm gonna try with a little help from my friends. Oh, I get high with a little help from my friends. Yes, I get by with a little help from my friends, with a little help from my friends. You guys are awesome. Beatles. Okay, next up is Hey Jude. Hey Jude, don't make it bad. Take a sad song and make it better. Remember to let her into your heart. Then you can start to make it better. Hey Jude, don't be afraid. You were made to go out and get her. The minute you let her under your skin, then you begin to make it better. And anytime you feel the pain, hey Jude, refrain. Don't carry the world upon your shoulder. For well you know that it's a fool who plays it cool by making the world a little colder. Na 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 na. Hey Jude, don't let me down. You have found her, now go and get her. Remember to let her into your heart. Then you can start to make it better. So let it out and let it in. Hey Jude, begin. You're waiting for someone to perform with. And don't you know that it's just you? Hey Jude, you'll do. The world that you need is on your shoulder. Na 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 na. Hey Jude, don't make it bad. Take a sad song and make it better. Remember to let her under your skin. Then you'll begin to make it better, 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 better. Na 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 na. Hey Jude. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Hey Jude. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Hey Jude. One more time. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Hey Jude. Yay, good job. So this morning we're going to say the Lord's Prayer, and instead of joining hands and all of that, we're just going to say it out loud. So would you please join me in saying the Lord's Prayer? Ready, begin. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from error. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. And so it is.
It is birthday Sunday. Are we doing that first? Before the announcements? Let's do birthday Sunday now. Everybody, September birthdays, get on up here. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. It's me. Yes, ma'am. So, what day?
27.
You're at the end. What day? You're at that end. I'm the 5th, Wednesday. Woohoo! Happy birthday to us. Sing to us, please. To us. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, you're wonderful. Happy birthday to you. God is blessing you now. God is blessing you now. God is blessing you. You're wonderful. God is blessing you now. Yeah, yes. Thank you, loves. And there's cake. Lemon, Diane? Lemon cake in Fellowship Hall after service. Is there anybody here who's new to Unity of Modesto? Or been here not in a long time? No? All right, it's the oldies but the goodies are all here. Well, Leah hasn't been here in like forever. I didn't even recognize her. Leah's home. Leah's home. You know that lady over there that sits over in the corner? So the bookstore is now open on the 1st through 4th Sundays, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, not the 5th Sunday. And we have 2 lovely ladies that are in there to serve you from 11:10 to 11:30. Stop by, pick up your next book or gift item, whatever you need. And we need you to start entering through Fellowship Hall. So if you go all the way through Fellowship Hall, through the kitchen, and come in the gated office door, that would be helpful for us. September 30th, we're having root beer floats. We're having root beer floats. Sharon Casey's doing root beer floats on September 30th. Yay, Sharon. So join us for that. Anything that has to do with ice cream, obviously your minister is all about it. Add root beer to it. It's a good thing. Because we like them, darling girl. And that is our September Love in Action. Our craft fair, we are just not getting the response we feel we need, so we are not going to do that. So if you have turned in an application, and I'm not sure if there's anybody at the church who has, see Laura. So we're going to do other fundraisers. We've got the spaghetti feed coming up, and Leah's going to talk about that in a second. Prayer pilgrims. Don't forget. So who are the P squareds on duty today? We've got Reverend Nancy, Reverend Gary, Richard over here. Remember, Margaret's here, but she's not on duty today. She's singing instead. We are founded on prayer. This is a prayer ministry. So that's our fallback. When things are going well, when things aren't going so well, prayer is where we go to dig deep and to find the truth of our souls. Okay? So if you need prayer, Gary, Nancy, Richard, who are on duty, and if you would like to join the prayer team, a couple of things are happening. First of all, Gary, are you doing a training soon?
I'm sorry, what?
Are you doing a training for prayer? When does that start? When does that start?
Whenever somebody
Signs up. Okay, good. So as soon as somebody signs up for it, we will do it. The next class, in alignment with that, is Unity Prayer. And I will be teaching that on Thursdays from 2 to 4, and again from 6:30 to 8:30. Now, we've changed the format of this a little bit. It's a 6-week class, and you can sign up for it and pay the $60 for the whole shebang. Or you can drop in when you are available for $15 a night. And it will be held in the sanctuary because this is a prayerful place and this is where we want to hold the space, is in our sanctuary. Also, I think Reverend Gary's coming in and Reverend Nancy's going to come in to talk to the class about the prayer ministry that is alive and well in Unity of Modesto. So you'll get a little more information there. So if you can't make all 6, if you can only do 2, drop in, okay? The second thing that's happening around prayer is September 13th is the World Day of Prayer. It's the 25th anniversary. So Unity churches and other affiliations throughout the world will be holding prayer space from the evening of September 12th to the evening of September 13th. That's a Wednesday through a Thursday. Here at Unity of Modesto, we are going to live stream that which is live streamable from Unity Village. So there's some opening ceremonies, there's a prayer vigil, those kinds of things. We're going to bring it right into the sanctuary so you can pretend you're at Unity Village and holding this space. For those of you who have prayer in your heart during the day from like noon till, it's probably not going to go as late as 8 o'clock because I think they close down at 6:30 and I'll have a schedule next week. We're asking you to come in and hold the space for an hour or two. There's a sign-up sheet in the back, on the back table back there. And what we'd like to have is somebody in here who, like on the top of the hour, on the bottom of the hour, might read a prayer or say a prayer or a devotional reading, something to hold space for you. But it's a time for the congregation to come in, light a candle if that's what you choose, sit in the quiet, watch the live stream from Unity Village, and just absorb that prayer consciousness that is so important to all of us. And know that as we are all in prayer throughout the world, everybody that's doing that raises the vibration of the planet. And magic happens, miracles happen, and the wonderfulness that is us happens, okay? So that's happening on September 13th. 13th? Yes. 13th. It's a Thursday. Okay? And I'll be here all that day. Did I get everything? Oh, another thing on the class.
What time? I'm sorry.
We'll start at noon till about 6:30 in the evening. Right. So anytime during that day. On the class, you got an email, and it lists 4 recommended texts for the prayer class. You only need one. If you're confused about which one to purchase, see me before you buy a book. Because you only need one book, and they're all in the bookstore now, right?
Yes.
All 4 books are in there. Okay, so you can browse through them and see which one resonates. There's not reading assignments in this class. It's please read along with whatever book you choose, but it's a self-contained, because prayer is an activity. It's not passive. So we want to get into the activity of prayer. And then in October, we have a spaghetti feed, and Leah's going to come talk about it, I think. And then I'm off.
Sometimes ask myself that question. Is this live? Yes, it is. Well, it feels good to be back. It's been a crazy couple of months. Spain was extremely hot, too hot for me, but excellent food, I'm sure you can tell, and excellent coffee. But speaking of food, we have our big spaghetti dinner on October 11th, my birthday. So I've already made the reservations. They've been reserved since December of last year. We're probably going to hold the ticket prices the same as they were last year, $10 for adults, and what was it, $7 for children? Yeah. What we're asking is to have every member sell at least 10 tickets. More importantly, where the big money comes in is, for those of you who remember last year, we had the placemats where you sell a slot for $35. And everybody gives you a business card, and we made beautiful placemats, and everyone commented on them. So we will have all of that information in the back next Sunday, and there will also be a sign-up sheet because we do need volunteers to help maybe for an hour to just serve food. It's served buffet style, and if memory serves me correctly, everyone really liked the food there. Okay? So keep that in mind, and you'll be seeing reminders constantly. That's our big, big fundraiser for the year. All right? And adios.
Okay, so, we do have a daily word. So our monthly affirmations should be coming up for you. And September is a light month, so to speak. So say the affirmation with me. I am the light. I shine God's light in the world. So our daily word today is on faith. I express my faith with every choice I make today. My every choice, no matter how small, expresses my faith in something at that time. Those moment-by-moment choices create my life experience, so it would be impossible to live without faith. The great news is that I can change my focus whenever I choose. I am not a victim of the events and challenges in my life. When I pause for a moment to remember the truth of infinite love, I am at peace. I take time today to observe the life I am living. It is a perfect expression of the faith I am holding. Faith allows me to see peace in the midst of conflict, to find abundance where once there seemed lack, and to love all others rather than judge. From James chapter 1, verse 6, but ask in faith, never doubting, for the one who doubts is like a wave of the sea, driven and tossed by the wind.
We're now preparing for meditation. There are places I'll remember all my life, though some have changed, some forever, not for better. Some have gone, and some remain. All these places had their moments. With lovers and friends, I still can recall. Some are dead and some are living. In my life, I've loved them all. But of all these friends and lovers, there is no one compares with you, and these memories lose their meaning when I think of love as something new. I know I will never lose affection for people and things that went before. I know I'll often stop and think about them. In my life, I love you more. In my life, I love you more.
So as we move into this time of meditation, I invite you to open your heart, remove anything from your lap, and allow the chair that you're sitting in to support you. And take a deep breath in and release. And another. knowing that we are in this space and this time of light, of love, and of precious moments. And we breathe into the top of our head, which is the center of faith, and drop our breath down to our heart space and exhale to the world. As we move into this month of a prayerful consciousness, we know that a part of this consciousness is our time in meditation. A time when we get still so that we can know. So prayer is our activity and meditation is our stillness. So as we commune in this stillness this morning with each other, we know that every breath is a prayer. So as we breathe in and release, we breathe in the faith of our being, the truth of our being, knowing that it aligns us with the goodness and the rightness of God mind. And as we move into the silence this morning, we hold that consciousness of light, love, and faith in the silence. So take an inhale breath and release it. There are times when we know things and times when we don't. And it is in the unknowing that we move into the silence to find those answers. So when you are unsure, spend time there. Good morning. Buenos dias. So it's kind of a different talk today. Before I start my talk, I want to say that there are these prayer list cards on the back table, back over here. These are specifically for World Day of Prayer. So this Sunday and next Sunday, if you fill these out, we will mail them direct. We'll hold them in consciousness here on World Day of Prayer, and then we'll send them right back to Unity Village to be sent in prayer as well. So if you would do that, and then you can just drop these in the love offering. That would be very helpful. So, when I'm 64, what in the heck are we talking about today? Anybody have a clue? How many 1954 babies are there in the house? Yeah, baby. That's what we're talking about.
57.
Yeah, well, you're not there yet, darling. Getting there. So when I was 28 years old, I was single and attached, and I had the opportunity to be transferred to Greenwich, Connecticut. Anybody been to Greenwich, Connecticut? No. Okay. So Greenwich, Connecticut is a little different than California. Just a little. So what we think as old in California is really old in Connecticut. They had churches that were built in the 1600s, gravestones, headstones that were built in the 1600s. And on top of that, there's a different attitude, consciousness, a different awareness, and it's very stuffy, at least my perception of it, at 28 years old, coming from the Bay Area in California, where all things Doobie Brothers were going on. You know, it was a little different. There was a bit of a culture shock happening there. Now, Greenwich has this ordinance of no, or at least at the time, I don't know what it is now, but at the time, there were no franchises allowed in the city limits. No McDonald's, no Taco Bell, no 7-Eleven. So you could have mom and pop delis. But in Greenwich, it was all fine dining. All fine dining. You know, with ambiance and tablecloths and things like that. So when I got transferred, they put me up in a hotel in Old Greenwich, which is an older version of Greenwich. Okay? Now in Greenwich, they also had homes that were 150 rooms. The whole congregation could live there and never see each other. Okay? Very different. It's a very different place. So in this hotel was a restaurant, and it was a Chinese food restaurant. Thank goodness, because I love Chinese food. I can eat it 7 days a week, 3 meals a day. So I got to know the bartender in the bar, because it was a bar restaurant kind of thing. And her name happened to be Cindy. And our middle names also happened to be the same. We're not going there. It is Jean. It is Jean. We spelled our names differently, but nonetheless, we were both Cindy Jeans. So we struck up a friendship. Now, in this bar was a piano, a nice baby grand, and her dad would come in, and he would just play the piano, and he was an excellent pianist. He was concert trained, so he would come in, and she would start singing. Now, I still had a fear of singing, so I didn't join in. But one night he came in, and he started playing When I'm 64. And my 28-year-old mind is going, oh my God, that's like forever from that. Who could even be running around at that age? My goodness. At 35, I was living in Turlock, and my husband at the time had this brilliant idea. He had a friend who was studying to become a life insurance salesman. So the night before my 35th birthday, Mr. Manning brought in a life insurance and death and dismemberment salesman to have a conversation with us. So, it's like, so for when I turned 30, that wasn't a big deal, but 35 it's like, oh my God, I'm halfway through my 30s. I'm halfway to death. Now we have the death and dismemberment guy in the house. So it was kind of I can remember this. I can picture the wallpaper, where we were sitting, the whole conversation. It's like not a great memory. And then at 42, Larry and I had gotten divorced, and I moved to Michigan. And at 42, I'm in Michigan, so I'm in another environment that's very different from what I grew up. Not as old as Greenwich, not as stuffy as Greenwich, but still very different. I think you have to have a special gene to live in Michigan. Anybody from Michigan? Don't. Maybe July and August, September, the beginning of October. But the rest of the months, not so much, unless you like snow. So in my classroom, I'm a science teacher, but in my classroom, because I have English as a passion as well, I would do quick writes. How many teachers know what a quick write is? So it's a prompt you put on the board, and you have the students, while you're doing all of the attendance stuff, they're writing. Okay? So one day I put a quick write on the board that said, what do you think you will be doing when you're 20, when you're 30, and when you're 40? So I collect them, I'm reading them that afternoon, I'm going, there's a theme here. So 20 was like, I'm out of college or I'm in college, and 30 I'm married with kids, and 40 they were dead or dying or in homes. And I'm looking at them going, you do know that I'm over 40. And they're like, really? And you're still moving? Are you kidding me here? So this old word has been showing up a lot. So these kids are thinking, they have a mindset of what each age is supposed to look like. And we do too. There are indicators and parameters in our lives that say that at this age I should be doing this. And then when I get to this age, I can't do that anymore. I've got to do this, right? So some of it is biological. So for the women, there's a span of life where you get to bear children. And there's, before that you can't, and after that, not so much. Sometimes there are surprises that weren't in my life. But so that's a rite of passage, an age thing that happens because of biology. But there are age things that happen because we choose it and we think it. Now, I have no intentions of jumping out of a perfectly good airplane, but if I ever did, maybe in my 20s I might have considered that something appropriate to do, but it's almost 64, maybe not so much. Maybe not so much. I'm not kind of in that space. So, but we also have these things as we're growing up where people ask us, what are you going to be when you grow up? And from as far back as I can remember, it was teacher. It wasn't minister. At 44, it wasn't minister. At 54, still wasn't. That came towards my 60s. And I'm thinking to myself, so what shifted and what changed? Because you would think that I would have been called to ministry younger. Not so much. So the chronology doesn't make sense. I was called to do certain things at certain times. And each one of us are called to do certain things at certain times. But here's the deal, is we do run around with an idea of, when I hit 64, I think it's 66 with Social Security now, and moving higher, I should be retired. And truthfully, in my 40s, I thought that when I turned 64, I would be fully retired with all the pensions on the planet. Not so much. And the truth is, I don't want to be retired fully. I want to do this. So at 40, I was planning for my retirement to sit on my fanny and travel. That's my plan. That was my plan. So what happens is God got in the way and said, no, I have a different plan for you. Thank you very much. You're going to do this instead. And I went, really? Really? So my question for you is, how many of you are 64 or fastly approaching it, Diane? How many of you are past 64? Oh my goodness. Who knew? How many of you are approaching 64 like it's looming, Sharon? It's looming. And some of you aren't there yet at all. So for those of you who are way, on this 20 side of 64, this is what it looks like. This is what it looks like. And it's okay. It is fabulous. And here's the thing. It's a choice. we can choose to be vibrant. We can choose to continue to grow and learn and do new things. That's a choice. We get locked in a paradigm of what it's supposed to look like, and that's what makes us that O word. You know that word, the 3-letter word, old. It's our minds that make us old, not our chronology. So I might ask you, what is yours to do? As you approach milestones in age, whether it's 21 or 31 or 41 or 64 or 74 or 84, what is still yours to do? Because here's the thing. As long as there are things that need doing on this planet, there is something for you to do. And the only thing that keeps us from rising up and doing great things is between our ears. That's it. So a change of mind and a change of mindset sets us up to do greater things and more things. So how many of you are kind of like stuck in what next? Anybody? Yeah, it's a mindset. Look for something to do and fill the need. And if that doesn't work for you, try something else. Because sometimes we try something and it's like, well, I really don't like doing that. You know, changing diapers wouldn't be my thing. But reading to little people, I could read to little people all day long. But I don't want to change them. I don't want to wipe snotty noses or any of that stuff. Put me in a rocking chair with a book, I'm all good. So there are plenty of places to volunteer, to get involved, to change your mindset and do things that raise your consciousness and heal the planet. So what if all you had was a change of mind? In the 50s, those of us who were raised in the 50s, the paradigm was you will get married, you will have 2.5 children, a dog, and maybe even a cat. Picket fence, all those kinds of things, right? Well, how many of you worked out for? Didn't for me. Didn't look anything like that. I wanted to go to school. I didn't want to stay home and raise children. And in fact, during my childbearing years, I had a conversation with my husband saying, you know, if we ever get pregnant, you're staying home. I'm going to work. And that was the agreement we did have. But it's something that has been created for us to live in, and it's ours to do to uncreate that and move into something different. Because life is changing too fast right now with technology and all of that kind of stuff. Living in an old paradigm isn't going to work for us. So no matter what age you're approaching, please understand that there is something, some place that needs your skills, your talents, and your heart. And it's just a choice. It's just a choice. So, when I'm 64, which is 3 days from now, is it really much different from the day that I turned 53 to 54? Or 43 to 44? Nah, it's not. It's a mindset. You know, I always tell people, I can do the same things that I did when I was 20 years old. It just takes me a little longer to recover from it. So, I just want you to know that this age thing, let's lose the word old. So instead of somebody asking, how old are you? How young are you? I am 64 years young. I am vibrant. I am that which goes out and does God's work. So as we move into September where we are the light, let us be the light of the world. Let us rise up, change our consciousness, change our paradigm, and go out there and make it happen. Have a blessed week.
Don't leave now, Carol.
You want hospitality or what? Huh?
Oh, yeah, we want cake.
When I get older, losing my hair, many years from now, will you still be sending me a Valentine? Birthday greetings, bottle of wine. If I stayed out till 2:45, would you lock the door? Will you still need me? Will you still feed me when I'm 64? You'll be older too. And if you say the word, I could stay with you.
She has a garden.
I could be handy mending a fuse when your lights have gone. You can knit a sweater by the fireside. Sunday morning, go for a ride. Doing the garden, digging the weeds. Who could ask for more? Will you still need me? Will you still feed me when I'm 64? Every summer we can rent a cottage in the Isle of Wight if it's not too dear. We shall scrimp and save. Grandchildren on your knee. Vera, Chuck, and Dave. Send me a postcard, drop me a line, stating point of view. Indicate precisely what you mean to say. You're sincerely wasting away. Give me your answer, fill in a form, mine forevermore. Will you still need me? Will you still feed me when I'm 64? Do 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 do.
Good morning. So these prayers are prayed for a month here by the healing prayer team, of which everyone is invited to join, and you don't have to go to a class. You can just see me or Sharon Casey, and we'll sign you up. And then they're sent off to Unity, where they're prayed for a month there, so they get a lot of prayer energy. Divine Mother, Heavenly Father, our friend, our beloved, our good. These prayers are about windows through which your love flows into our life, healing all aspects of us. Open our hearts to receive your love. We are grateful. Thank you. Oh, peace, amen.
It is now time for our love offering. So if you would take your offering in your hand. send it a lot, excuse me, send it a lot of love and state our offering statement with me. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive.
And please join me in singing God is my source. God is my source, God is my power, God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, God gives me everything I need. God is my source, God is my power, God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, God gives me everything I need. God is my source, God is my power, God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need.
I know, we just want to keep bebopping around here. So we receive these love offerings, knowing that the divine source guides and leads us to those things that is ours to do. We are, I am, all a part of this divinity that is abundantly blessed, and we give thanks. And together we release this, knowing that great works are done. And together we say, Amen.
Amen. All right, and now we're going to form a circle, and first we'll say the prayer for protection and follow it with the peace song to close our service. You got your bell bottoms. We'd have to get a new piano player if we did. All right. Well, here comes two more, so we'll bring them into the circle. All right, so together, the prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Jeremy did play violin and he played, but Sean didn't. No. I wanted to. I can sing.
Well, that was fun, kiddos. That was
Fabulous time. I can't wait to see you back. That'll be good. I'll be good. Can you walk that door, right? Okay. Hi, good to see you guys. Tell Greg I said hi. She better, right? Okay, bye guys. One of them was, it's the light of mine. That's the last one. The first one. Yeah. Yeah, I don't have to do one of those, but I found the words get to do, and I think you were on for it. Do you remember what I said? Leave a space for number 2, and then number 3 is just the light of mine. And I don't remember what 2 is. And I will call you this afternoon and tell you what it is. There you go. And then the offertory is the same day. Yeah. So that's it. Yeah. And we're gonna try and find some little song. Yeah, because this week is all prayer, right? So we're gonna stay on that. Unless you can think of some songs that you have with you that about prayer. Yeah. Lord's Prayer itself. There's a 23rd song. There's that one Karen Drucker one. Your prayer is my prayer too. Yeah. That would be a nice one. Yeah. Your prayer is my prayer too. Yeah. Okay. For the special? Mm-hmm. Yeah, because that, you know, it's not like all of it. You have a copy of their music, right? I know I do, but I know it's not in the book. It's just, so I'm trying to think of what works do you want? If I send, do you have an email? If I send you the words, you can send, yeah, you can send it. Okay.
because it was great. And they'd like to hear more of that.
I know Leah wanted to be listening to it every Sunday. I told her we had to get a new piano.
Yes, sirree. I'll vote for that.
You guys can play Imagine. Imagine's a good one. We've done that. Yeah.
Done it.
Couple of times. Uh-huh. And the other one that we've done is, I think really appropriate is the, Let It Be.
Yeah, yeah. I have the music.
I'll see you.
Put those in there. Have a wonderful week.
Thank
You
you.
too.
Thank you. I'll see you in a week.
Okay.
Have fun.
I will.
Are you going up to Angels Camp?
No, I'm going to Portland.
Oh.
I'm, my friend Margaret from Wisconsin is meeting me there, and we're going to a
Okay,